What's up, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Okay, so we are going to be playing Starship Evo. I'll go ahead and switch her on over to that. Alright, so here we are, the Starship Evo launch screen. So normally it's playing some really cool music, but I'm going to be I'll be playing I'll just be doing this without music. Anyway, here is Starship Evo. So I've already created a character. I haven't done anything with him, so that you guys will be able to see the full experience of what it's like to go into the game for the first time. Which you can do that right now. When you if you go and get it on Steam, which is just launched on Steam Early Access. You can find it on Steam and go ahead and experience it for yourself. But I'm going to give you some pointers in this stream on how to build in the game and what to do and how to get your ship going, and some pointers on how building in the game works. It's a little bit different than other building games. Anyway, so let's get started. Normally you would get the option to actually create your first character. It doesn't really give you character creation options, which you can change your character later on in the editor, or in your options when you actually load into the game. So, but you at least get to choose a name. So, multiplayer is a thing with this right now, but it doesn't have he doesn't have dedicated multiplayer servers yet. So, you want to play multiplayer, then you need to get together with one of your friends or somebody that also has the game, and then you join on them right away. Alright, so here we go. Here is the this is the starter room. You start in your little bedroom thing going on here. It has a thing here. You press F to interact with things. You can hide the bed. And then it's going to show you, this has a little activation thing you walk into, and it shows you different things here. So please proceed into the... Alright, so this little room right here gives you an idea of how detailed you can make things. So I have that here. The door behind you. There's always common courtesy. Alright. Got quite a bit going on in here. So let's see some here. Oh, we have a bathroom. This is not time to use the bathroom. What if it is a time to use the bathroom? I don't know, you know. Alright, so now whoa. Changing gravity. Okay, so so this room basically teaches you how to change your different modes, because this is I like doing this. This is so cool. It's so smooth. Anyway, so basically to do that, you just open up your codex or the tab menu. You go to this first menu here, and then you can change your different settings. So we're going to go to that one. Use this. Oh no! Ah, come on. You have to be a little touchy with the jump button. It tends to be kind of a little jumpy, or a little touchy. Alright, so now we have to change our direction again. We're going to change to this guy. And this guy. Alright, so now we're up here, and now they're wanting you to change to this one because you need to be able to rotate yourself, and you do that with the Q and the E keys. And just rotate myself again. I just rotate myself again. There we go. Come on, get through. There we go. Alright. And then open the door. Oh no, there is a block in the way. To do this, I just need to open up, grab my tools. See, there's a bunch of different tools here. We'll go over all of these tools by the end of the stream. There you have three different tab menus, and you change them by holding Shift and scrolling the mouse wheel. Boom! Now it's just like a little magnet thing. You can push things. You just push things. You don't pull them, which is ironic. You'd think that you would be pulling things with the magnet, you know, but it just pushes. But anyway. What does this do? Oh, activates the gravity. That's funny. So, but I'm going to go ahead and turn that all the way off, because I need to be able to get over here. Activate that. There it goes. Sometimes you have to do things twice. Oh. Congratulations! You have completed the Locomotion tutorial. You can now select the walk mode and just walk out. Okay, that's it. That is what I shall do. Because I don't like flying when there's gravity. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, I love the detail on things. You know, how much detail you can put into things. It's so cool. Anyway, alright, open that up. Alright, so now we have, this is pretty much the end of the Locomotion tutorial. But I mean, you have things like this. You have ladders, which don't really work right now. But you have lots of different things. What is that? Oh, it turns on light. Nice. Anyway, we have these little things down here. These are hovercraft. There's a bunch of different ones people built. This hovercraft is equipped with landing gear. Press G press the G key to retract the landing gear. So now to get into a vehicle, it's pretty simple. You just press F on the seat to get in your seat, and then you press. Oh, that's really freaking loud. Wow. Okay. Sorry about your ears, everybody. Let's turn the volume down a little bit. As my ship crashes around. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get back to the game. No, I don't want that. Back to the game. Alright. Now I'm gonna have to get out of my vehicle and fix it. Nope, that is not what I wanted. Oh no. What just happened? Where am I? I'm outside. gross. Alright. Alright. Well, that just because. Alright. Okay, now. Just try not to get bumped up against the walls. Press the G key to retract the landing gear. Now, if I go hit F4, look at myself in third person, which I did. I'm a cat guy. Yeah, cat guy. Alright, so now you can see that my feet are sticking through the floor. This is a Flintstone vehicle. Just go on out. And you control hovercraft, use the D and the A keys to turn it, and then you just press the W and S keys to go forward and back. So, and there's not really any going it up. It maps its flight to the landscape pretty much. But anyway, so this is the hovercraft. Hovercraft are fun, and we'll learn how to build some. But in here is where we're going to go next. So, put out the landing gear, and then we just turn the thing off. Alright. Voila. Okay. That is interesting. It almost kind of seems like a bug, having the hover engine still running. Anyway. Okay, so now we're in the second building with the tutorials. So that was the first one over there. That one teaches us basic locomotion and how to get around. This building is bigger because it's got a lot more in it. This one's going to show us what to do for building, and there's a lot of stuff in here to learn. So always close the door behind you. It's common courtesy. Welcome to the build zone. So, in this zone, pretty much you're going to learn how to build a ship. That is the whole point of this whole structure, pretty much. It's the most important. Have fun. Always the most important. Have fun. I love how you can just do the little sticker things to show people where to go. So much. So nice. Alright, so the brick zone. Okay, so bricks. Bricks. Okay, so the biggest thing to try and remember with Starship Evo is there are two different grids, basically. You have two different sized grids that are building on the same grid. It's kind of confusing a little bit at first when you think about it. But you have the large blocks, which are typical Minecraft meter-sized blocks. And then you have bricks, which bricks are much smaller. Bricks are, let's see, this is actually 4 regular blocks. Anyway, we have, these are the bricks here. This bottom brick layer right here, that is the width and depth of a normal Minecraft block, or a normal meter-sized block. So you have, it's basically small little blocks that are like 4, you have 4 bricks by 4 bricks by 4 bricks to make a full large brick. So I'm just going to demonstrate here and go ahead and I think it's, is it, yep, you do that. And yeah, there we go. Alright, so, oops. Right now the game is only creative mode. There is no survival mode yet. There will be, but there is no survival mode as of right now. there will be a survival mode, and hopefully it'll be really freaking cool. But as it is right now, this is a purely creative game, which is still cool. I like it. So right here, the whole point of this activity here is to basically duplicate what he's got going on over here. So let me just do this. We'll have full and a full. The nice thing is, if you look down there underneath your cursor, you've got the numbers showing you what size of brick you have. So this basically right now, what I have going on right here is a full is a one by or 1 by quarter by 1 brick. Then I'm going to have a 0.5 by 0.25 by 0.5 brick. It's pretty simple. And then the other thing to understand about building in Starship Evo is that the bricks also stretch. So you can have, oh, is that actually 3? Yeah, it is. Okay. You have stretching bricks basically. And then you can rotate it. Ooh, where is that located? Okay, it's like right here. Okay. So there, perfect. Well, that's almost perfect. But if I want it to be perfect, I need to do this. There it is. Now it's perfect. The point of, or these bricks stretch, so you can create angles and stuff like that you could never do in any other game. Like, for instance, this right here. You can do that, and then you can do this, and that is an amazing shape right there. You could never pull off in any other game. So like you could do something like this, and then have, and you rotate. To rotate, you use the R key, just so you guys know. Rotate is in the R key. So you could do that, and then you could do something like that. Or you could decide that you want to continue this angle, and you could do that. It would just be, it's crazy what you can do. So anyway, moving on. All right, we have here decals. So decals. This was made with decals. It doesn't actually, game currently doesn't actually have lettering as far as I know anyway. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, unless he added it just recently and didn't tell anybody. And no, he didn't. Okay, so basically he has stuff like this. So I can take that, and I can take that. Yeah, and then take this and see, and then you can take it and you can stretch it and make all sorts of letters there. You see? Yeah. So I could do that, and then I could do that. I can rotate it, do that. So, you know, this is, the stickers are really cool. The stickers are really cool. They add Like even this right here, this is not like actual depth. This is a sticker. So I'll show you. See, you just stick it like that, and then you just like, see, it's a sticker. It's a sticker, people. It's a sticker. It's just that easy. So yeah, this is really cool. It's really cool tech. I honestly have never actually seen this kind of tech in any other game that allows for some really, really good detail. Like this stuff is cool and all, but I've seen some stuff on the Discord that's just mind blowing. So you got that. Stickers are really cool. Now you've got painting. Painting is really cool as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Oops. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to not spill paint all over the floor. I'm going to recolor these buckets. And you're already blue. Or whatever. Alright. To make your builds fantastic. Okay. Alright, moving on. Alright, so now we have, these are hull blocks. Hull blocks are the Minecraft blocks. They're the blocks that are like the big Minecraft size blocks. So, we have regular hull block, then you have the wedge, and then you have this, and he's missing one. How dare he! Alright, so we go in here. This is their codex, everybody. This is the codex. Just so you know where to get all this stuff. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff here. Here is the hull blocks, and there's quite a few here that he didn't put on there just because he probably ran out of room. So you also have the corner block and the pinta. So we have this nice little space here to play around with. Thing you need to know about these blocks is that they also work like the bricks, where you can stretch them. But if you want to cut into this space right here, be careful. Because you can't just break into it. So if you want to have a hole, you got to do that. You have to be very creative with how you're placing down your blocks. So you could do something like that, or do something like that, and then do that and that, and then hey, there you go. Now you've got a hole. But you have to be careful with that. But the stretching mechanic also works on the wedges, so you can have big, long things like that in foreground. But it also works on all the other things, and it's basically exactly like the bricks, except they're bigger. And the bricks, here, I'll show you real quick. The bricks also work on top of the big bricks, on the big blocks. So you don't have to worry about having, small grids on large grids. That's not you don't have a lot of other games have to like mod this in, but now this is native. This is it's a game mechanic. So it's really cool. What do we have here? Alright, so hotbar switching. I already showed you how to do that. Just hold shift and scroll your mouse. Thrusters. Okay, thrusters. These are really cool. There's 3 different types. There's this is the small little thruster. There's the square small thruster, and then there's the big square thrusters. Let's see. Alright, so So you have he built himself a little engine. That's kind of fun. But thrusters. Large thrusters are required to enter light speed, which can be achieved by hitting the L key when piloting a ship. Light cruise is used to quickly travel across a star system at subliminal speeds. All right, so with the thrusters, let's go ahead and grab the thrusters here. I'll just grab this one. Grab the big one. The thrusters are a big block, so you cannot place them on a brick. You have to place them on a big block, like so. So you have to try and make sure you keep that in mind. Now, the little blocks, the little thrusters, on the other hand, that's a different story. You can place those anywhere you want because they're bricks. Same with this thruster. It can be placed anywhere. It scales up kind of weird, but they're cool. They're cool weird. And they only scale up to a certain size too. I think they only scale up to about there. I think how big can you make these? Dang! That's a big thruster. That's a big thruster. Wow. I didn't know you could make them that big. Anyway. But so yeah, thrusters are important. Thruster placement is somewhat important. You've got to have thrust on the back of your ship, and you've got to have some side thrust, at least. Having more thrust in different directions helps, but you have to be careful with that, because sometimes it can overcompensate and cause you to become way too maneuverable. Alright, so reactors, power. Power is important. So we have the main reactor here. Use a reactor to produce power! Unlimited power! Oh, sorry. Oh, I've got a question here. Okay, is Starship Evo dev just trying to show that it is because he is starting to make a really good point? I mean, Elite Dangerous and such. I have no idea. Probably. He is just one guy, and he's made quite a impressive game here. I am very impressed with it. I imagine you probably have been following the game since you kind of seem like you know a little bit about it. But he's got quite the game going on here. It's still got a long way to go. Don't let the cool features here fool you just yet, because it still does have a long way to go. You still can't leave the star system that you fly around in, even though eventually you will be able to. The AI that he's put in the game is very, very new, very rudimentary. I haven't really even got a chance to play around with it too much. But when it comes to like building in the game and the size of the game itself, it's going to be pretty cool. I imagine if Francois were to actually get a dev team together and get things going, he probably will be able to get this game done pretty quick, but he is just doing it by himself right now. So so the fact that he's managed to do what he has done by himself is impressive. Anyway, back to this. So reactors use a capacitor to store power. which is important. You want to do that. And then let's see. All systems on your ship require power to function. You can see the current power consumption versus production of a ship in the codex or on your HUD. So down in the corner, down in the lower right-hand corner, it usually shows that it has a it shows you how much power you're using and how much heat you're producing. Which there is there another screen over here showing about heat? Huh. Surely there. I'm sure he probably goes over it, but or actually he probably went over it over here in the hull section. Now that I think about it, let's see. These large blocks are perfect for building spaceships. They behave just like bricks, but they are a bit bigger. You can rotate, and okay, no, he didn't tell anything about heat. So we'll probably go over heat in a little bit with the tutorial. But thrusters and power reactors generate heat, and we'll go over that in a second. But basically, you go here, you open up this, because I've been building on this, it actually shows the whole station thing here. But you go down here, you have power generation, this is how much is being generated, and then here's power consumption or power used. This is how much power is being used. And then here's the heat thing right here, is dissipating quite a bit of heat, generating not that much. So, anyway, let's say with the reactors, I'll go ahead and pull reactor here in a minute. Oops, wrong thing. So with the reactor, you just place the reactor down, and you can do that, and you can pretty much stretch that as much as you want. And that generates power here, stores it here, and is used for power throughout the ship. Okay, so shields. Shields are pretty important. With shields, you're protected. Your ship is protected for a short, or for however long it takes the enemy's weapons to overpower them. Having a capacitor on the shield, on the shield block, helps to increase its. I think I got that all right. Let's see. testing my knowledge of the game here. To protect your ship from pirates, you'll want to give it a shield. Use the shield block to increase the regeneration rate of your shield. Add capacitors to the shield block to increase the maximum health of the shield. So yeah, I was about right. So if you add a capacitor, then it increases the shields. He does go over heat. Okay, so heat. Heat is very important. All systems in a ship produce heat. Oh, all systems. Okay. If a ship gets too hot, systems will stop functioning and the ship can be damaged. Heat can be dissipated in two ways. Number one, hull blocks absorb heat. Number two, heat is dissipated across the surface area of a ship. You can see the current heat consumption versus production of a production. I'm going to assume that's supposed to be dissipation versus production. Dissipation versus production. All right, well, whatever. Of the ship in the codex, in this space, that spot where I showed you. But it's very important to make sure you keep track of that. Otherwise, your ship might blow up. It's important. Alright, so, cockpit. Chairs. Tell me about chairs. What do you know about chairs, mate? So, this is already one thing that, this game has over StarMade in general. StarMade doesn't have real chairs yet. This game has them, has real chairs, and it has quite a few of them. We have like 3 different versions of chairs, and then we have a stool. We have a stool, people. We have stools. Okay, so chairs are pretty self-explanatory, actually. You just take them, you place them down, and you press F on them to sit in them. And you look like a boss with my feet stuck on the floor. Anyway, you have to hold down the F key in order to be able to get in and out of a chair. So, you will probably want to add like a brick or something like that underneath your chair, just because the average normal height of a chair is not very tall. If you just put it straight on the floor, your character's feet will get stuck on the floor, like so. Now they don't. So, anyway, so we have those different chairs. I wonder what this is. This connected to anything? I must test it. It is. Lights. I like the lights. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and read this. Get rid of that. Your ship won't feel right without somewhere to sit. Why not use one of the many seats? And there, like I said, there are many. In Starship Evo, there is no cockpit prefab. You are free to make cockpits as you like. So you basically get to design your cockpit however you want to make it. You know, you can have bridges and anything you want, basically. All right. Oh, turrets. We're moving on to turrets already. Okay. Are we moving on to turrets already? Wow, okay. Turrets are pretty insane. So, go ahead and do that. And yeah, okay, so I have a turret here, and I am controlling it. Oof, powerful laser beam. Gazer beam. Oh, wait. Oh, it's not working. Gazer beam! Whoop. I got another comment here. OMG, that's what a cockpit made a big mistake. Alright. Oh no! It's still going! Alright, there we go. Is it still going? Is it still gonna fire? Alright, so let's see. Turrets. Yes. Yes. Alright, so turrets in Starship Evo are entirely custom. Here you can see a very basic turret, but the shape and configuration is completely up to you. Pick up the link tool from the item stand behind you. Then click M1 or mouse button 1 on any part of the turret to view the logic links. Click and hold with the link tool to create a link on your own turret. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this just so I can show you guys what he's talking about. So, here's that, and there's that. So this is how interesting this is all set up. So we have this here. This is the yoke. This is basically the controller brick that lets you control everything. He probably talks about it over here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. And then you have the turret block, which is a turret computer, which automatically tells these parts here. See if we right here. We have the weapon. Then we have the turret's rotating, the different rotating points that it needs to be able to rotate. He's used big blocks here to illustrate it better. We have these different navigation or link lines here, and then you have this is linking to that, and then you have that, and this is your hotkey, and it's using the main weapon button, which is your mouse button, and this is linking to that, and then it's linking to the weapon itself. This also needs to know that this is a weapon, so you have to link that to that as well. So that's basically how a turret is all linked up. Now, weapons. Weapons are in 3 components. Number 1, base block, either a laser or a beam. Number 2, side add-ons to change the proportions of the shot. So, see how it has like the little doodad right there? You have things like this that can be attached to the side of it that either increase its power or increase its range, or not range, but increase its power or heat or damage or stuff like that. Then you have barrels, which can only be attached to the laser, So to change the properties, not proportions. Excuse my English. I cannot have English. The properties, to change the properties of the gun, beams cannot use barrels. Make sure you have to remember that. But can be stretched longer. So beams can be stretched longer, but the lasers are the only ones that can use the barrels. But the barrels, let's see, them lasers to accept more side add-ons. So beams are able to have, you typically can actually get more power and damage out of a beam cannon because you can add more add-ons to a beam cannon. The lasers have more customization ability because you can add different barrels onto them. And here's a little diagram showing you how to basically set up your weapon. So you have to activate a weapon, you have to link a button to your weapon, or link a hotkey to your weapon. You would link your control or your yoke to a hotkey button, and then to the weapon, and then you would set the hotkey button to to whatever hotkey you want it to be set to. You could have it set to one of the number pads if you wanted to. Anyway, so moving on. All right. Mechanisms, or as some people like to call them, logic and rotators and hinges. So here are the different buttons and the link tool again. Then you have, here is the rotators. He's got some painted on stuff here to kind of illustrate what's what. But basically what you would do to kind of give you an idea, let's say, do I have any empty slots? I don't. Okay, well, I'll just, let's get rid of that, and get rid of that, and, yeah, okay. So we've got this here, which this right here is a, helps the rotator know how far you want it to rotate. So then you have your button, rotator, I don't know so you can see it. You connect the button to that, and you connect that to the rotator, and you click on this, and say I want it to, the off state to be 0, but I want the on state to be 180. No, let's go 45 so you can actually see it move. And then I press that button, and it rotates. And I press it again, it goes back. Wow, it's so easy. And then with this, I can just do the same thing, and whoop, and ta-da! So, with this, actually putting 45 in this makes this not quite 45 degrees because the point from 100 to 100 is different for the hinge than it is for the rotator. You have to make sure you remember that when you're doing logic and whatnot. You can't just use one of these for each. So, like, I take this. To undo a logic thing, you just go here and do that, and it undoes it. So I would want to create another one. Take this, go there, and then do that. Oh, come on. There it goes. And then I go here, and then I want my on state to be 45 degrees. So do that, and then voila. Now it's actually 45 degrees and not something different. So now these are really good for like making flappy wings or some other cool building tech and building techniques that are really really cool. So here we are. Okay, so now this is where the fun begins. Building a ship. So building a ship is actually not as hard as it sounds. You take a ship core and then you link it to a yoke, and that's about it. And if the ship core is attached to a ship with power, thrusters, and is not having serious heat problems, then you have a flying ship. And then you have, let's see. Oh, and almost forgot. One of the primary things, the basic of basic stuff, the thing that really makes building in the game kind of possible is the starter block, of course. In StarMade or any other building game, usually you have to start with like a core or something like that. In this game, you have a starter block, which you don't necessarily have to keep it after you're done with it. Once you're done with the starter block, you don't even need it. It's really all it is used for is for starting a build and then spawning in a build. So say I want to spawn in a ship that I started a while back or something like that. Then all I've got to do is take this starter block, which I'm going to grab really quick, and I just place it in midair like so, out here in the middle of nowhere. And I got a whole bunch of already pre-built ships in here, so go ahead and spawn this in. This is not finished, and it doesn't have anything. I'm glad it fit in here. This was the start of a build of mine. Gravity decided to take effect. We'll just place that on there really quick. Oh, just so you know, moving the starter block doesn't necessarily. The starter block is not like a. It's not like a regular block, like one of the whole blocks. It can be placed anywhere on there. You know, it uses the brick grid instead of the big block grid. So now I have this one here selected. So you go to the codex. If you want to unspawn something that you've spawned in, if you want to get rid of something, you just hit unspawn. Ta-da! It's gone. Now, if you are building in the gravity of the ring, then you place down that, and I'm going to go ahead and switch to negative gravity. Now, I have my build block here. Now, this whole activity in the center here is to build a small ship. So, now what you want to do, this is basically going to test all of your knowledge from in here. What I would do in this situation, don't you necessarily have to copy what they've done here. But this basically gives you the basics on what a ship needs. So you have enough hull to dissipate this many subsystems, and then you have your starter block down here that holds your ship in the air. Now, if I were to build something with this block, with this starter block, and then remove the starter block, the gravity would become affected, like so. I'm going to go ahead and build a quick little ship for you guys to show you how things work here. Let's see. Let's start with dupe. It's not going to be a very fancy build. Just going to be nice enough. There we go. Alright, and then choose that, and we're going to do that. We're going to. Do I still have my thrusters? Yes, I do. Alright, we're going to have some big thrusters here. Okay, so now we got some big thrusters there. Do I still have my? I do not still have that. But like I said, you have your codex. You go in here, get your power if you need your power. There we go. Alright, now take the power. I'm gonna stick the power block back here. We got the power. We have the power! Alright. Now, let's see. What else do I want to do here? I need my seat. I'm going to go ahead and actually, I want to do that. yolk. Not to be confused with egg yolk. Alright, and rotate this around so it's facing that way. Take this. Do that. That. Alright. Very basic ship. We've got just enough space down here to throw in some small thrusters on the side here. There we go. Alright, so now we have that. And I'm going to go ahead and show off the glass. We've got glass cockpits, people. So we have this. This is a very basic glass cockpit. So in order to place it over top of your build here, you've got to have a frame built up where it's going to work. So what I'm going to do really quick is we're going to stretch this back, and actually I think I'm going to make some modifications here. Push this back to here, and then push this back to here. Or no, I'm going to have to do some brick modifications. So if you end up with a scenario where you have that happening, it's really easy to fix the problem with bricks. Bricks are amazing. So let's see. Oh, I forgot. Bricks do have a limited range. So do that. Oh, come on. Sometimes they can be a little on the fickle side. Okay, so angles don't match up sometimes. Sometimes when playing around with the bricks and stuff, you find little designs and stuff that you didn't expect or you weren't expecting. This also is a perfect opportunity to show off the one of these other tools. This is called the mirror block, or the mirror tool. You place that down, and voila, you have your mirror tool. And then you can actually turn it on and off using the M key. Alright, so where was I? Ah, yes. Go ahead and do this again. Like so. I kind of like that look. It actually looks kind of cool. So we're going to go and keep that. And I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to stretch that down like that. Going to do this to have this. To stretch this up. Like I said, sometimes you have to kind of play around with it a little bit to try and get the right shape, or to get it to do what you want it to do. Rotating is one of the things you have to really play with. And one thing I've found while building in this game is you just gotta play with it, you know. Just keep playing with it until you find the look that you like. the design that you like. Alright, so now I should be able... Where did I put the cockpit? There it is. Alright, so now I should be able to place the cockpit down. Of course, it's going to be fickle. Ta-da! There we go. Now, normally you're probably not going to want a ship to look exactly like this. This is kind of funky looking. It actually kind of looks like it's the start of a ship and not the finished product. But you get the kind of the idea behind what I'm trying to do here. So, have that. Up. What I can do is I can do this, that, that, and it like that. But now you see, I have a problem. I can't get in this ship yet, or I can't get in the ship now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of that right now, and I'm going to place in a slider. We have small sliders, which are great. And a magnetic thing. So go ahead and do this. Oh, I forgot. I need to take this. I'm going to turn off symmetry for now because I don't need it. We're going to have our slider go all the way across like that. And then we're going to go ahead and just put that other side on. Actually, no. I'm going to go ahead and put another one on here just for symmetry's sake. But I'm only going to put this right here. There. And then back here, I'm just going to extend the bricks that I had placed. There. Now, I'm going to do some fancy logic and going to put that there, or I'm actually going to use a flat thing here. There, and then put that up there, hook this up to, it is going to let me do it right. I'm gonna have to get rid of the glass again. That's funny. Alright, so take this, go here. Now I can go here and set this to the full range of 1.75. And then if I do that, it goes all the way back. And then voila. Okay. So now I take my cockpit again, rotate it. Why is it? That's weird. It let me put it on there before. That is interesting. Why has it suddenly changed its... Huh. I'm confused. suddenly changed its place point. Huh. Oh, and that is something you can do. You can actually stretch it, so if you want a two-seater something, you can do that. But I want it to be on that one, not... Okay, well, that's an easy fix. Just do this. Voila. There we go. And ta-da. There we go. Now, if I do that, ta-da! I have a cockpit. Now, inside this, now, I'm going to want to be able to get in and out. So I've got to place down somewhere for me to be able to get in and out. So I've got to place down on this thing not a switch, but a button. So I'm going to take a button and place a switch, and I stick the button right about there. It's a little bit squished, but actually no. Can I might actually, yeah, I got an idea. Stick those there, and I'm going to have myself a flat button. Stick the button there. And now I will take this and link this button to that. And now when you press that button, oh crap, it doesn't go all the way back. That's funny. That is funny. Okay, okay, so that didn't that didn't work. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing. We're gonna have to push this yoke back a little bit now. Push the yoke back. Actually, oh, I gotta pull the yoke back up. I got rid of my yoke. I hate that. I hate how it's... Okay, so... Alright, now... place the yoke back. Or am I'm putting it in the exact same spot. Okay. There. And now do that. Now we can place our button right there. That should work now. Place that right there. Now you link the button to the switch, not the other way around. Now when you hit the button, ta-da, should close all the way. It doesn't. Is it really that fickle? Collisions. Collisions. Why? So, I guess that button needs to be... I got an idea. Another idea. A brain blast idea, actually. I am going to do this. So, there is the hotkey button. I'm going to show you the hotkey button. Hotkey button. Pull up hotkey button. Put the hotkey button on the outside here. Now you have a hotkey button. Now I go into the hotkey button, and we're going to have hotkey number 1 be our cockpit. Now I'm going to take this there. Now this is activate mode push. You just push the button and it activates the switch. Now I can just close that up like that. Now, get into the seat. Now I've got to actually click this, connect it to that, and I need my ship computer. And stick the ship computer back there. And I need my small brick. Fill in that space there. And then I'm going to take and connect the yoke to my ship computer. There we go. Alright. According to this, I need more power. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and... Where's my power? There it is. Okay. Go ahead and place power generation here. And I'm going to use... Do I want to use that? Ooh, I got an idea. Might make it look cool. There we go. Kind of looks cool. Now, does that give me enough power? It's almost enough. Almost enough. Let's add some smaller generators here. Let's add some small reactors. And alright, so now it is generating almost enough power. Now the only problem with this now is the setup that I have. I think I may have made these thrusters too big, because if you notice, I am generating 925 heat and dissipating. I am dissipating more than I am generating, but not enough to be able to it's not good enough. So what I need to do is I actually probably need to decrease my thruster size and just have some of these going on the back here. There, now they're half the power. See, now I'm not generating nearly as much heat. I'm also not generating requiring as much power. So now this thing is actually functional. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to move my seat back a little bit because I have some more space to put my seat. I need my coat. Oh, the seat's already on there. Okay. Let's move the seat back. There we go. Alright. So now I can sit in my seat. And the ship is functional. And I can move it. Ta-da! Yeah. And then if you press the tab key, you can look around. It's kind of a little claustrophobic. And if you have the F4 button and hit tab, you can get a look at your ship. And my ship is, it's like a discount Jedi Starfighter. It's missing like half the ship, and it doesn't have an R2 unit. But it does fly. You notice, whee, and it flies. If I hit tab, I can actually control it. But it's, whoa, okay. I still ran into the mountain. Oh, whoa. Okay. It's a little on the wonky side. it's a little bit too fast and doesn't have a lot of stopping power. So you do need to take into account having thrusters in all the different places. But that was basically a basic run-of-the-mill throw-together ship in a few seconds. Go ahead and go back to single. Open up the cockpit. Go ahead and jump out of this ship. So yeah, that is a basic, very basic ship. Very basic. It's like it flies, but it's not very maneuverable. Now, I will show you guys some ships that are actually well built, and there are some really good ones. This one over here, this one was built by, oh gosh, I gotta look his name up now. Let's see here. We have, this ship was built by a guy named shoot, where is it? There it is. This ship was built by a guy named Darth Petto. I think I pronounced that right. Just forgive me if I absolutely destroyed your name. But this ship is really well built. I love it. It flies very well. It's perfectly heat dissipated. It's got really nice weapons. It's got a great interior. It's small. It's fast. It's maneuverable. It's just beautiful. And it's got all sorts of logic. It even has this little sliding thing here on the side. You can always get into it. It has landing gear. It's got this beautiful little interior. It's so well built. It's got a sink. It has a sink. But it's so cool. He has everything all decked out in here. He has slide outs for his logic, which is so cool. But it's so well built. It flies great. Let's see. And then there's another ship over here that's really cool too. This one's also well built. I'll go over here, and in fact, I think I might go ahead and switch to gravity. There. This has got a really nice interior as well. Come on, let me in. I think Francois really needs to increase the jump height. Alright, so this ship is pretty well decorated on the inside as well. It's got a teleporter pad. It's got artificial gravity. It's actually a fairly good sized ship on the inside. It's got chairs. It's got all. You can actually transport 4 people on board this ship, or actually more, I think. Yeah. You can transport 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on this ship. Pretty nice. And it's got a bed. It's got cups. it's got a little kitchenette. And more cups, and then more cups, and it's but it's got a lot of really cool stuff here. But it's got a really nice cockpit. It's got a very good view, and I love the way that he's got his setup here. So you can also sit in these chairs here if you're wanting to be a passenger. And then you've got the cockpit here. It shows your speedometer. He's got a speedometer here. He's got buttons for activating different things. I don't know exactly what they do, but and then the way he's got this, the way he has this yoke blended in with the rest of the rest of the cockpit here just looks beautiful. I love that. Flies great. Sweet. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and show you some more advanced stuff. Go ahead and go to I think. Did I do it? Yep, nope. Yep, I did it. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're gonna go off into space. Into space! I hit the shift key to get going really fast. There's a few different places I want to show off really quick. I also want to show off how you go into faster than light speed here. There's a space station off in the distance. Now we're going to go ahead and engage autopilot to get there. Okay, now we're in light speed. To get that, to do that manually, you hit and hold the L key. Flying away from the ring. It looks so small now. But we're headed over to a space station. Now, this space station looks quite busy. It's got quite a few ships docked at it, or flying around it. Alright, let's see. Request docking. Request. Now we'll just fly over here. Get our landing gear. And come down, and we are landed. And now at shipyards, you can do two different things. You can undock, and then you can repair your ship. This is a very rudimentary, very new tech that's been added to the game. Space stations. And these space stations, you're going to be able to go and dock to them. You're going to be able to pick up missions. You're going to be able to sell bounties. Eventually, probably you'll be able to sell wares that you've crafted from mining. Eventually, you'll probably be able to do a bunch of different things. But as it is right now, and I'll show you, I'll undock here, or get out of the seat here. Oh, I need to. There's no gravity here? There's no gravity. Okay. Or am I just stuck? I think I'm just stuck. Come on. Well, I think I'm just stuck. Dang it. There we go. There we go. Alright. That's gravity here. Alright. So we've got... should have artificial gravity on the station. So if you get stuck like that, just go into another mode and you should be able to get around. So, go here, on that. Alright, so here we are. We're at a space station. It's not very big. but it's decent size. It's nowhere near to being complete. I didn't build this station. It's one of the default stations that gets spawned in. That I believe was built actually by the same guy that built this ship, which, let me look up that really quick. I believe his ship is also in here. Should be able to find it really quick. Just give me just one more minute. I should be here. Come on. Come on. Unless... Is it that old? No, it can't be that old. It's not, appears to be, it does not appear to be in there. Interesting. But, I don't actually know who built this ship. I know I've seen it in the Discord many, many times, and I could probably tell you who built it if I looked hard enough eventually. And I've also seen the station quite a few times in the Discord. And I'm sure somebody probably eventually will correct me. And yes, I just got that question about mechs. Yes, mechs are eventually going to be a thing again. They used to have mechs. He had a mech computer. You could build a mech like you could build a turret. And eventually he's going to have the mechs, but he's going to have them come back eventually. He's working on them right now because he's got to get the collision stuff figured out. But eventually they will come back, and people will start building mechs again. And there were some pretty cool mech builds that people were making too. I was very impressed, and this is another example of why the station is empty. But I do like this. It's got chairs. He's got benches. He's got benches, people. So you can just sit here and just look out into space. But this station build mechanic is really cool because this station build mechanic allows you to basically build a station out of modular pieces. Like, for instance, I'll go ahead and switch to this. We'll fly over here. This module may not be finished. This module might be finished. This module is finished. And I'll go ahead and show you really quick what it looks like on the inside. AI, it's so funny sometimes. They're bumping into each other. I love this. I love the iris doors. So cool. We have here, this is one of the finished rooms. It's got like a little apartment complex. And here you can come in and have your own little apartment while you're on a station. It's pretty cool. Can't wait till he actually finishes these stations. It's really cool. But yeah, in reference to that question, yeah, mechs are going to be a thing again. They're going to be really cool. There's some really cool, fun mech builds that were around back when the game was still in pre-alpha. It's still technically an alpha, but it's the technology is there, and it will come back, and it will be probably greatly it's going to be greatly anticipated, and a lot of people are going to be really happy when it comes back. I myself, I'm not that much into mechs. I like spaceships more, to be honest. I think mechs are cool, don't get me wrong. But I definitely am more into spaceships. But so I'm going to go ahead and take back off again really quick. That, and I'm going to show you guys some of the builds that I'm personally working on. Get out here in deep space. Oh my gosh! Collision! No, I'm just kidding. Okay, there's no collision damage yet. Although I might have angered that AI. Is he chasing me? No. Oh, wow, there's some bigger ships flying in there? Wow, he's got some big ships. He's got some big ships set up with the AI now. That's cool. Whoop, they disappeared. That's cool. Yeah, you stay around a station long enough, you start seeing some interesting stuff. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to jump to light speed, and we're going to go down into the ring here. Whee! And stop right here. This is kind of a cool spot. I've always kind of enjoyed this place. Why am I no longer able to move? Whoa! That was really weird. Alpha build. I don't know if I ran into a piece of space dust, or no, it's just lagging. What is going on? Why is it lagging like that? That's interesting. I've never had it lag like this before. Ugh. Wow. Alright, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's stop. Okay, we are stopped. Alright. Alright, now, get out of the seat. And open it up. And I'm going to spawn in some of the builds that I'm currently working on. Kind of need to... If you want to increase your character's speed, you just have to hit the brackets. Those help you to be able to move around. But anyway, alright, so now where is my build block? Oh, I need to spawn it back in. I need my build block again. Alright. So now we have my build block. Alright, so ooh, slow down. Okay, back to normal speed. Alright. Now we're gonna spawn in. This is the Apollo is the build that I was working on for the game, and hasn't really made a lot of progress on this, primarily because I got interested in building something else, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. But I'm not going to give up on this build, I promise. It is still really cool looking. It's probably got some heat problems now, I don't know, but it's beautiful. It's got shields, as you just saw. um, it's gonna have a bunch of turrets. I'm probably gonna be putting the turrets along the middle here instead of on the sides like I've got there, just because I need better line of sight. This is not going to be where the cockpit is going to be. It's going to actually have the bridge up here where the cockpit is going to be. I might have a cockpit down here just for the fun of it, so I can pilot the ship from the very front of the ship, but I am going to definitely probably have more of a bridge set up here. And it's got these nice little hangar bays in here. And then this right here is my favorite part. I have a gangway thing that drops down and goes back up. I'm excited. I'm proud of this. I've never really been much for like logic and moving parts and stuff with builds and whatnot, and I'm pretty proud of how that turned out. It's also got some nice sliding doors, so that, yeah. And I'm probably going to be making a few YouTube videos showing off how to use these mechanics, how to build more advanced stuff. Oh. Yes, yeah, I've had quite a few people actually say that about the ship. It's kind of inspired by that, but I tried to make it look more of my own personal design. But this is one of my more completed ships, I could say. Anyway, I need to actually place something down on it so that I can. Alright, so. And I'm going to go ahead and unspawn that really quick. We're going to. I'm going to go ahead and show you the build that I am currently working on. And this might take a couple seconds to load, so. There we go, and it's loading. Alright. Okay, so this is going to be the Starship Pacific from the fan-made show called Pacific 201, I think. Yeah, called Pacific 201. And I'm using some interesting build methods. Using hinges, I'm able to pull off some shapes that you wouldn't normally be able to pull off. So I can get some. Yeah, I like the circle doors too. I really do. I think he should have both, because why not have both? But the circulars are really cool. I think he needs to make them a little bit bigger though, because your character kind of feels like you're clipping through it. And thanks for the nice comment on the ship here. It's definitely got a long ways to go still, but I'm really liking the way that the hull plating is looking. It looks very utilitarian almost, and pretty cool. It's kind of hard to see in the dark like this, but turn on my light here and you can kind of see it better. It's even got a kind of a reflective surface on some of them, so it's cool. These hulls are, or this hull here is all built out of brick. If you go underneath here, you can kind of sort of see how. I've got hinges right here that are aligning the hull plating to the angle that I'm wanting, and then I'm using rotators in the center of the ship here to achieve a 360-degree circle of sorts to get the angle that I want, so I can make an actual disc. And I'm doing it without absolutely no clipping. It's not clipping anything. There's nothing clipping. Oh wait, I think there might be some clipping going on here, but no, it's not clipping. Okay. I've tried to make sure that there is absolutely zero clipping going on. Looks like there's a little bit of clipping going on down here, but I've tried to do it without having any clipping, because that's the primary reason that Francois doesn't like people using this building method, because it causes Z fighting, and he doesn't like that. But it does create for some really cool looking ships, and I can't wait to finish building this thing and show it off to the world. Of course, I've already now shown it off to the world, but the ship is going to be pretty big. It's going to have the warp nacelles are actually connected to this spire right here, and they're connected off to the sides, and they're right here. And then underneath here is a another neck kind of spider thing that sticks off the bottom, and then there's a big cylinder-like body of sorts on the bottom with a deflector dish, and the actual has a little actual shuttle bay at the back, which is kind of cool. But it's not humongous like my Enterprise that I built in StarMade, so it's not too bad. Oh gosh, sorry about the honking. So it's going to be really cool. I'm ecstatic about the build, and I can't wait to finish it. So keep an eye on that, guys. All right. So, oops, I need to place down a block so that I can unspawn that really quick. And I think there was one other build I was working on. Oh yes, the Lacerante from Star Trek Picard. Oops. Alright, so I was building the Lacerante from Star Trek Picard. It's definitely a work in progress still. It has got a long way to go. I've got, get that out of the way. I've got the cockpit sort of going on here. You can kind of sort of see. We got the gangway there, and then we've got one of the pontoons. I don't know. And then it's going to be copied over on that side. I got the pontoons set up with the same hinge system I'm using on the Pacific. So that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to have a nice little spot down here that's going to almost be like a shuttle bay or a cargo bay of sorts, because this is supposed to be like a cargo ship. So it's got kind of like some cargo bays going on down here. So those were my two. Well, those are my two tribute builds that I'm working on, and then the Apollo was my one actual like unique build that I built. so far. Haven't finished anything because I just don't have the time. Haven't had the time to build like I used to. Um, uh, but definitely am enjoying this game a lot, and having a lot of fun with it. So um, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna spawn this as well. Don't need that right now. And we'll go back to my other ship. Where did it go? Oh, it's over there. Alright, so thanks. Oh, there's one last thing I wanted to show everybody really quick that everybody has been having a lot of fun with lately. And we're gonna go back to the ring to do that. Oh gosh, I'm still going super fast. I'll have to go back to the ring for that really quick. Okay, where is it? There it is. You can actually see my speedometer going off there. It's always pretty cool. I love a cockpit that actually has functioning things in it. So cool. Slow down a little bit here in a second. And slow down. Landing gear. Ooh. Down. Oh wait, I forgot it's control. Is my landing gear open? No, it's not. Alright. Alright. Alright, now switch back to, there we go. Oof, going too fast. You have to be careful with that speed edit thing. It can really get you messed up. Alright. Okay, now we're back on the surface of the ring. This audio is still really loud. Oops, wrong one. Sound, there we go. I'll bring that down really bunch. There, that's better. Alright. So now I want to show off I want to show off one last thing really quick. Back up into this room, or back up into here really quick. And where is it? There it is, right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is show you guys how to build a weapon. I'm gonna take and do that. I want small beam. Do I want beam? No, I want laser. I want laser. Then take the small Gatling and small chart. So now, if you go and place that in there, now I have a handle to be able to build a weapon. So let's take and you build in using bricks. You can place down bricks on your little weapon handle here, and you can take your weapons. I'm going to take my small laser here, and based on which way the trigger is going, you're going to place your weapon, and I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. I'm going to make it say about like that. I'm going to put 2 charger thingies on there, and then I'm going to put a Gatling thing on there. Now I have a Gatling turret now, or a Gatling gun. Now I'm going to want to probably put some power on there, so I'm going to put a small power reactor on there. Just a little reactor on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some heat dissipation on there. Let's see, there. And do that. And that. And then you take, oh, I need my handle back again. We'll put another handle on here. There we go. Now, if I go and press F on this again, I'll pick up the weapon. But I think it's good. Let's pick it up. So now we have I have a handheld weapon now. So now I'll go ahead and go into here. And this is actually where you're supposed to build the weapon. The weapon building area. It's got all the different things you would need. It has information here. In the codex tab, you will find a weapon handle. Place this on the item stand to start building a weapon. Use the link tool to link the handle to any laser beam you place onto the handle. When you are done, press F and pick up the weapon and use it. Oh, come on. Why is it not working? There seems to be a problem, Jim. Houston, we have a problem. I put power on it. What if I need a power? There. Don't need logic. Oh, it also has the repair tool thing over here too, so you can go and repair the. It still has no power. I don't get it. Unless, did I accidentally put a shield block on there instead? It's generating heat. I wonder if I don't really need it. Nope, I do need it. Interesting. Might need more power. Or do I need to actually connect the power to the weapon? No, I don't. That's weird. Humdy. there's really no reason that shouldn't be working. That is the power. Yeah, it's a small reactor. What the heck? Hmm. Heat. Power drain. Power drain. Doesn't say. It should just work. This is weird. Alright. Let's try. Huh. This is interesting. I think either I've actually encountered a bug or something is going on. Huh. I should be able to shoot this weapon. It is not working. It has enough power. This is right there. Unless, wait, what's this button? Oh, it's just a door. I'm confused. This should work. It should be firing something. What the heck? Oh, linking. Duh. I'm an idiot. Thank you, guys. Alright, now it should do something. Oh yeah, see, look at that. Takes a while to regenerate. Now let's switch it back out for the Gatling. Alright. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Building weapons, it's always fun. Let's see here. Need to go in here now and repair. If you can make a door to get in. Oh, Nope, you have to fly. Okay. So now this is kind of where the repair thing is. Tool comes in. When you blow something up or destroy something, it doesn't really actually go away. It becomes invisible of sorts. I mean, you can fly through it. So I mean, it's technically gone. But when you repair, when you use the repair beam, it fixes it. And the same goes for when you get like serious damage on your ship. Bean was here. That's funny. So, anyway, that was basically all you really need to know about Starship Evo and the small little projects that I'm working on myself. Just comment in the comments if you have any more questions about the game and where you can get it and whatnot. And I hope to see everybody in the next video, the next stream that I decide to do. Thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody next time.